Shout out to Mr. Echidnut for another lovely summary of what happened last episode. Please go support him if you haven't. What happened to Subaru? Bro is back to season 1. And Julius, good luck, bro. It's so sad. The breakup, bro. The breakup that happens. And that's the last interaction Julius will have with Subaru, at least the one that he knew. And now no one will know him. And you know what's more sad? It's that, like, I forgot Rem exists. When I was talking about examples of people who are going to be sad, by this, like Biko, right? Don't leave Betty behind. Or Julius losing it, right? But then there's Rem. But then it's like, why did I not think of Rem? Why? Who the fuck cares? She's AFK. Do you think she's gonna be sad right now? Listen, who knows when she wakes up and if or not, Super is gonna get his memories back. But Rem is literally just AFK. She won't even know the difference. But we'll see when she actually might even wake up soon.
What up, weebs? This episode had a lot of birds, as well as the biggest plot twist ever in ReZero. But please
mention Pandora, bro. What's with the birds?
go watch the episode if you haven't already, because I'll give you 5 seconds in dog ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Subaru just lost his fucking memories. Ladies and gentlemen and femboys, our main character is literally starting from 0 again.
Hell yeah, baby! And this is the prime content. All of the shit that I love from ReZero, the more I think about it, comes from Subaru being a fucking idiot. And the consequences that comes with it. And an isekai that punishes somebody for being dumb instead of rewarding them with bullshit powers. I love that about season 1 ReZero.
Again, all his character development is totally gone.
Hell
all his
yeah!
accomplishments, his failures, his suffering,
Reset that
his
shit!
kiss that got Amelia pregnant, all completely erased from his memory.
And you know what? Maybe that's for the better. You see how young and refreshed he looks? No more trauma bullshit, bro. You guys talk about like if memory loss is like a bad thing. What if memory loss is a good thing?
Doesn't even remember that time Felix gave him back shots, and that was supposed to be unforgettable. There's a lot of people who thought Subaru was overpowered because of his ability to return by death, but erasing his memory is one of the few ways to defeat Subaru without killing him. You could also
I wonder what's gonna happen with the straight bet gamble, right? With Rosball. Because like Subaru's not gonna remember this shit. And now he probably is going to just abuse his, but it's going to be fascinating. Like, how is he going to figure it out? But this time we have other people that's going to tell him who he is. It's not as if he's like a stranger alone by himself in this random world. There's a lot of connections and I'm sure they can try to get him up to speed, but they don't know about his powers of return by death. When Subaru realizes he can use it, like, I wonder how much he's going to abuse it. And I think that, again, is how we lead into the aura monster scene that a lot of people have been glazing and hyping up. I think bro is going to spam this shit no matter what it takes.
Out killing him. You could also trap him somewhere he can't escape from, or turn him into something inhuman with Capella's authority. Maybe if he was a steamed potato, Rom would actually like him. Luckily, he still has his name, though, because obviously Beatrice and Amelia still remember him, so worst case scenario, they'll just have to explain to him who he is and catch him up.
Yeah, I wonder if it was gluttony, right? We talked about these situations and the difference of Julius, Rem, and Krush. This is a Krush situation. Why didn't gluttony take away both name and memory? Because I feel like if it was gluttony, just taking away the memories is still like too kind. If you removed his name too and nobody fucking knew who he was, now who knows if he will be eternally sleeping too, right? But it'd be kind of interesting to see what would have happened.
Up on everything that happened the past 4 seasons. What he won't get back is all the internal stuff that he didn't share publicly, and Subaru had quite a bit of that. Maybe he should watch my recap videos I did for every episode in season 2, 3, and 4. But yes, this is a major setback. I mean, since episode 1, Subaru has developed astronomically as a character, and he's been through so much to get to where he is now. Sorry, I mean to get to where he was. It would just be incredibly difficult and painful to go through all of that again, and it makes
And we're gonna have that in the span of 1 arc. Oh, it's gonna be so juicy.
me wonder, how long would that even take? Shala?
Will he completely forget the memories forever? I feel like that's too much. I'm expecting basically for us to suffer for a bit, but the memories to come back. Well, how would that happen? If it is a gluttony issue, simply just defeat gluttony. But simply defeat gluttony. That's like saying, it's simple, guys. We just killed a Batman. Wow. Just do that, bro. If it is some other reason we were trying to brainstorm ideas, whether it be violating, some sort of rule of return by death of like how Satel, I remember, grabs Subaru's balls if he ever tries to leak that info, right? Who knows what could have happened? So I actually, rather than gluttony, I kind of want it to be like some other mechanics, some sort of pact or a vow or an oath, violated. Because he seems to have a lot of pre-existing stuff. Echidna also mentioned an existing some sort of pact before she gave one to him. Remember that most likely with Satala. And if he loses memory and forgets about the rules, and he keeps fucking up and violates more shit, I don't know. I think they'd be just kind of fascinating. Remember how Puck also lost the memories? The more that he intervened in Emilia's life, the more that pact with Echidna, right, would basically make him lose the memory. Like maybe it's that kind of situation.
That even take? Shala said she doesn't mind if they spend centuries here in this tower with her, and she also got me wondering something else. Shala thinks that Subaru is the sage who created her, but Subaru had no memory of that. And now Emilia thinks that Subaru is her knight, but he also has no memory of that.
So how many times has he forgotten the memories?
It's the exact same situation. So from Subaru's perspective, who is he? Right now, he only has memories from Japan. So when Shala and Emilia both tell him different stories about who he is, who should he choose to believe and who will he become?
All of the above. No reason you can't believe both of them, but it is going to be fascinating to see like how he's going to crash out.
Personally, I think Shala's a little bit hotter than Emilia. It's a close competition, but after seeing the shape of her body episode and just the way she ate that meat like Sasha from AOT, I would probably have to believe Shala. Sorry, let's address the elephant in the room though.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened to Subaru? How and why did he lose his memories? The last we saw of him, he seemingly came up with a way to defeat Reed Estrella and started climbing the stairs to go test it. Next thing we know, he's waking up from a nap in the green room. Could Reed have erased his memories somehow? I don't know. I feel like so far the author has kept everything involving memories pretty.
The shapeshifter! Look out for her. Rui, I think she's gonna be impactful this far considering they hit her till the end of last season, right? And she also can shapeshift and is gluttony. She could be involved in this for sure, and if so, could have just simply erased the memories, but that just feels too normie though, right? Maybe we're overthinking it, and usually the answer is a lot simpler than we think. Rather than trying to think of different rules and constraints of return by death or existing pacts or, you know, stuff like that. Maybe it just is that simple that bro just got jumped by Rui or some other gluttony and forgot the memories.
Pretty much exclusive to gluttony, but we haven't seen them since season 3. Although, in season 3, we did witness gluttony transform into different people.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! I don't remember this. This background is in the opening. Whoa. This tunnel? This like white area? I thought it was like a... Wait. This is like Rui's What? Whoa.
Season 3, we did witness gluttony transform into different people. Theoretically, I think it could be possible that one of the characters in our party has actually been gluttony in disguise this entire time. The problem is that gluttony probably isn't a very good actor, so it would be tough for them to portray someone like Ram or Anastasia. Also,
but I thought that like if they swallow up somebody, right, their memories, basically they remember those details, so it might be like easier to act that way. So one of us is already eaten, swallowed, erased, and gluttony has removed the body and is LARPing as that person. That could be an interesting idea.
So I think it has to be someone they've eaten, and I'm pretty sure Julius is Julius, so I guess that leaves us with Rem. It's not like it would require much acting to pretend to be Rem. I could probably pull off a pretty accurate Rem impression.
Yeah, just fucking sleep, bro. Rem being the one could be also troll, because like if she woke up and it actually wasn't Rem, bro, that would be crazy. But who cares at this point? Why would Subaru care? I wonder if he's gonna have some sort of lingering feelings towards Rem. You know what I mean? So the idea is, even if Subaru lost a memory, he seems to kind of know about Emilia. Not really, but like his affection for her. Silver-haired elf, my favorite type, but if we kind of think about the Flugel of Subaru, Satala as Emilia, and Flugel somehow lost the memories, disappeared in Subaru now, like even though the memories are gone, some things still kind of stick around. So wonder if he sees Rem and kind of has this subconscious feelings that he must save her or something, even though he lost everything about her.
I mean, all you have to do is lay there and hold in your farts. Yeah, no, on a second thought, I would suck at that. Anyway, that's just a fake theory though. I completely made it the fuck up, but let me know if you guys have any ideas about how Subaru's memories could have been erased.
We already made like a 40-minute video about that. You guys know where we're at. I just want to believe that it's not gluttony and has to do with more mechanics of return by death or pre-existing pacts being violated and memories being erased because of that. I think that'd be like a pretty more interesting outcome compared to something that, you know, we've seen already with gluttonies.
Talk about birds. I really liked how bright they made the birds, almost like they're glowing. And the camera angle showing the birds watching us was such a nice touch that made the scene a lot more unsettling.
Great direction.
First, I want to talk about the illusory wall, though. In the novel, it explains that this was most likely a secret sniper spot for Shala to use while she's protecting the tower from outsiders, which has me wondering how many other secret walls exist in this tower. Back to the birds, though, they were definitely sus, but in the novel, they were described a bit differently. First of all, they were supposed to be a bizarre mix of different species, like a totally random assortment of all different
but instead they made them all the white birds instead, huh? They're trying to be so fucking obvious. They're like, hey, do you think this could be Pandora? Ooh, it could be Pandora, guy. You saw this in season 3. You saw the birds back in, you know, Rem moment. You saw it when Subaru first showed up in ReZero World 2. They've always been there. But it could be just, you know, a pack of pigeons. You always see pigeons everywhere. Who cares, right? It's not that big of a deal.
Shapes and colors. The birds were a lot more diverse in the novel, but the light novel illustrator is actually a white supremacist, so he changed the race of the birds because he's racist.
No, the light novel artist, Otsuka guy, he's just a lolicon. He makes everyone into lollies. Look how fucking babyface, you know, Anastasia here looks.
The race of the birds because he's racist. Also, they were described as very robotic and lifeless, and none of them ever made any bird noises. And you know birds are total pussies, right? Like in public, if you ever get near one, it immediately dips.
Well, it depends. If you're in the city, like in Vancouver here, you go downtown, you think birds give a fuck about you? They push you around. Like, they don't give a fuck. They have been conditioned to not give a fuck about you, bro. And they're just there for food. They'll bother you and say, you got some food, you got some food. But like, yeah, birds in any other place that's not cities, they just flutter away.
Dips. Well, apparently Anastasia was able to pet them and touch them with no reaction whatsoever.
Let's chill.
Basically, what we learned from this chapter is either that these birds are not real birds, or perhaps birds were never real to begin with, and
just say it's Pandora!
These are just regular birds that aren't real. Regardless, a few years later, the author wrote a side story that revealed a lot more, although it never got translated.
The birds are everywhere! It's Pandora!
Translated to English, so there's a lot of ReZero fans who might never learn the truth about these birds. Unless I spoil it. I don't know if this plot point will—
How would an anime only could even spoil it, bro? I thought you were an anime only, man. Dude, the REM scene 2, birds were there, and I think many people have listed some other scenes where the birds were present. Not many people remember those moments, but there are some other minor moments here and there. But this is another significant one, and this is the one that I remembered immediately when the birds started fluttering around, because when when Rem did this like speech, right? I remember a pack of doves, the bird just like fluttering away. And the scene in the balcony last episode, the sound design of those fluttering away, it immediately just like nostalgia reference. My brain was like, oh my god, this is the season 1 moment.
Will ever make it back to the main story. Currently, it still hasn't.
Birds
even in
everywhere!
Arc 10, so I'm just gonna say it. Basically, Meili starts fucking up these birds, right? She, along with some other characters, captured a bird, and they were like, yeah, nah, this isn't a real bird. So what do? They start fucking massacring the birds. It was like the bird holocaust. Everyone pops their ult and completely obliterates the entire flock of birds. The birds attempted to fly away, but they got absolutely shit on, except instead of exploding into a mist of blood and feathers, the birds just evaporated back into mana. So yes, these are artificial birds created from mana, except the interesting thing at the end of the side story was when we got a glimpse into the eyes of the person controlling them. This woman felt sad about the fates of her birds, and honestly, that's kind of valid. The birds themselves were innocent, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, the woman says, I just want to understand everything. And then her identity is revealed to be Pandora.
Otto! Yes, I know it's gotta be, bro. Wait, was that story fake, or did he just make a bunch of shit up? What the fuck was that?
Sorry, wrong picture. Now, I don't know if Pandora can literally—
Was that story real? That's a real side story? Okay, at this point, bro, I'm pretty sure it's gotta be Pandora, man. Who else could it be?
See through the eyes of these birds. It kind of felt like
she's looking, listening, right? Like Pandora, it just feels like some sort of autistic lolly that wants to understand people and connect to them, right, in a way. Like whether it be suffering, whether it be love, whatever. She just finds, you know, I guess some sort of great entertainment in looking at such tragedies, right? Like she just feels a bit robotic. Like it could definitely, like who else could it be? And it's not just a bird. There's other animals, bro. Where is this
episode? But
hold up. There's a really funny theory There is an extremely funny theory. I don't know if I can find it right now. Let me try to find it. Where is that thread? Someone posted a pretty funny thread of this is just Pandora loli dojins, bro. What the fuck? Ew. That's a fat Pandora. Oh. Right over here. This is funny too. The bird. This is season 1, episode 1. When he first shows up. And then you see the bird, and and you don't really think about it, right? But the birds were there. The birds were there, bro.
Basically, what it said in the side story is that her plan was to periodically send the birds to and from the tower, just to see if the birds came back to her.
Okay.
Obviously, this time the birds didn't come back, so the implication is that now Pandora knows that we went to the tower, and she probably wants vengeance for what we did to those poor innocent birds.
Justice for the mana birds. It's interesting. Rather than the birds being Pandora, the birds being a tool that Pandora uses to phase through mana birds that are all over the place. Interesting.
To the tower, and she probably wants vengeance for what we did to those poor innocent.
Wait a minute. When I think about illusions, this shit too, the illusionary door. Couldn't just this be Pandora's powers too? I doubt it. I don't know. At a certain point, you can justify everything just being Pandora, considering her reality-bending powers, but who knows?
Wants vengeance for what we did to those poor innocent birds. Some more cut content. In last week's video, I talked about how bullshit it was that Emilia was able to hit Reed with an attack because I thought
because we're scaling Raid as in like light speed. Light speed is bullshit, and I think that there's no point doing light speed if you're not going to take it seriously, because if Raid can react to light speed movements and destroy them, the fact that he was able to get, you know, distracted and be hit by Emilia even with the titty thing, like, do you understand how crazy light speed is and how fast you have to move? Like, Emilia must be moving in fucking slow motion even after he was blasted from, you know, just flabbergasted by the titty movement. So whenever you do light speed, you have to treat it as an absolute, like Gojo Satoru's infinite or something. You can't just have everyone nilly-willy just seemingly just like contest light speed with it. That's why it's tricky. So either do it seriously with absolute intent or just don't do it at all.
Fighting instincts would be way too clean for that to ever happen. Well, they explained it in the novel this chapter by saying it was because Emilia's attack didn't have killing intent. If she was actually trying to hurt Reed, he obviously would have sensed it and protected.
But like, you're telling me a guy that can perceive light speed even without killing intent couldn't react to it? Come on. I don't know about that, man.
Himself, but because Emilia's objective was simply just to touch him, he allowed himself to be distracted by her boobs and didn't defend from the attack because he didn't perceive it as a threat. I really enjoyed this episode. It was a bit different from how I envisioned it originally, but it did a really good job keeping you on the edge of your seat.
You've been at it for 5 hours? Every fucking time I go live, a notification goes out to you that I'm live. Do you know what I do after that? Because I know that the notifications aren't going to be checked by everybody else. I go live on YouTube as well and tell you I'm live here too, and another notification goes out, and this is a permanent fucking icon that exists in my channel knowing you're live right now, you're live, and I tell you, click link to chat and join. I also ping the entire Discord and say, here's the link to join. 3 separate things I'm trying to do to spoon feed you content, and you're surprised. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. Sometimes it's impossible because I'm looking for a perfect solution in an imperfect world, and the faster I get over it, the easier my life will be.
The whole time, it always felt like something bad was about to happen, only for the reveal at the end to be much worse than anything you expected. 10 out of 10 episode. We're finally starting Arc 6 for real now.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited to see where it goes. Thanks everyone for watching.
I hate the term that like, oh my god, like, what's it called? All right, you can just go to the hellhole for that. Goodbye. I hate this like idea that, oh, this is getting started now, you know, finally this is starting now. Usually I say that's just bullshit from like, you know, light novel sweaty readers, but at this point, but considering how the nature of this setup was, I see what you mean, that like, yeah, the real arc starts now because everything has been kind of building up towards this big turning point. And now what are we going to do with season 1 Subaru? It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very fun. Again, I talked about in length about the different combinations of theories of what could have happened that made Subaru lose his memory. I hope that it's not just gluttonies, but if it is, then we'll take it. And if it is one of the gluttonies, most likely Rui, because she just seems to be like the most recent trendy one, especially with the powers, you know, where you look into the fucking eyes, right? That warp dimension thing. It's very interesting, right? You look at this shit. This honestly caught me by surprise. They showed it in season 3, but I wasn't really paying attention or didn't even know what to look at because I didn't know. But you look at some of the other trailers, even end openings and stuff like that. That realm is there, so be mindful of that. Overall, really great episode. Probably a peak episode. I know that like it was definitely stiff in the dialogue for some of the scenes, but there were also some good moments, right? And the overall heatedness of rivalry, not rivalry, the brotherhood of Ryulius and Subaru. I'm just so into it. I'm so sold by it, and now it's like heartbreak happening. I think it was a very moving episode. Please check out Mr. Echidnut. Here's the link to the video. Go support him, and I'll see you next time.